Fat part one. Fat is a lipid. Fat is one of the three macronutrients: protein, carbohydrate, fat. Fat is very energy dense. That's why we store it. It's really energy dense. We store fat to utilize in times where there are low food sources. So getting fat is this wonderful human adaptation to store energy for famine, which was a really common thing a long time ago. More importantly, fat is responsible for some of our most crucial functions. We need cholesterol for our brain,
for all our hormones.
Yeah, for our hormones, testosterone, estrogen, even for the ladies out there, progesterone. Many are very important hormonal functions, which are very important for our daily functions, our mood, mental and emotional state, balancing our hormones. Fats are really important. Some of the most common forms of fat that we will all be familiar with is like butter, cheese, oils. What we're going to discuss today is what are some common sources of fats, what are better sources, worse sources, and maybe just some considerations for certain populations. So firstly, we go over the most common sources we're going to know in this country here. New Zealand, we're a dairy nation. We produce a lot of dairy, so the ones we're very familiar with is milk, butter, dairy products, cream, all those things there. And are they great sources of fat? Absolutely. Are they great sources of fat for everyone? No, they're not. No, they're not. A lot of people are very quick to say that they're lactose intolerant. There are genuine people who are lactose intolerant. It is quite common. There are people then who would say are on the spectrum of lactose sensitivity. Many people just are sensitive to it. That's absolutely true and common. The people humanly who are probably likely to cope well with dairy are people who have Nordic ancestry.
A long history of dependence on using milk as a source of nutrients.
Yes, and we have to understand why they used it. Because it was a very rich energy source. Ironically, it's also rich in nutrients that may make life in those areas challenging, such as vitamin D. Very dark and cold up there. Also very rich in protein. Great source of protein. If you, it is likely if you don't have Nordic ancestry, you may have sensitivity to it, you may not even know it. If you are not sensitive to it, if it does not have an adverse reaction to you, then by all means, it's a very good source of fat and nutrients. Dairy is very nutrient rich, cheese very nutrient rich, very protein rich as well. Let's move on to our other forms of fats that we have really common. The fats we cook with are of a big concern. Canola oil, vegetable oil, things of that nature. These are very poor sources of fats. If anything, these are the ones in terms of fats that we want to be most cautious with and maybe figure out ways to eliminate. I would say that we're better off substituting how we're cooking with fat, if possible, for things like olive oil, coconut oil, and even if you have no issue with it, again, butter. If the milk solids are an issue, ghee, which our middle continent India, for example, cook with clarified butter. They remove the milk solids, so that would be another aspect to be real considerate about.
And when cooking with it, with these alternatives, check for when it starts smoking. So a lot of these sources are great sources of fat, but if it starts smoking, that's when you've killed it. You've killed the oil. You want to cook some of those oils at a lower temperature. So just keep an eye on that. Yeah.
Where are we getting these other sources of fat, guys? Well, we're probably from animals. The fat, bacon, all the rind on the bacon, when we're eating our steaks. Animal skins, that's effectively, the gristle or fat sinew. That is, again, a great source of fat. Eggs, the yolk.
Amazing little packages.
Amazing little package. The egg is just it's a near perfect food, man. Wonderful, wonderful source. So our animal products, we look at meat, the aspects of the animal we really want to make sure we don't get rid of. The rind, the skin, eat that stuff, eat the full animal.
Yeah, we've been told off in the past for eating too much animal fat, but I'd say a bigger problem would be the use of the vegetable oils to cook the meats that we're eating, and also the sugar, which is the high glycemic carbohydrates that we've been eating in abundance that cause inflammation, which that's more of what leads to the heart disease than just consuming too much fat.
Correct. Let's not concern ourselves with how much animal products we are consuming, how much dairy we're consuming if our body's fine with it, and let's start getting rid of our vegetable oils and start implementing things like coconut oils, olive oils, our butter, our ghee, and our cooking. Those will make drastic effects to our health. Additionally, if we want to look to our animal sources of fats, nuts, things like peanut butter, cashew almonds to an extent, if you're fine with those, get in there, guys, great sources. And our vegetables, fruit, we'd say fruit because avocado is like a fruit.
Yeah.
Is that correct? So we have limited access to certain things of that fat, but we know things like avocados are great for us. With your eggs, don't be scared about volume. There's been a lot of conflict of information as to too many eggs is bad. Their major concern was the fat aspect in the yolk. Too many of that. Too many of them having a negative effect. Rubbish. Go to town on that, guys. The amount of beautiful nutrients contained in that yolk, along with the protein in the white, is a great source of nutrients. Lastly, our other fat sources that we can access. Jay, any last thoughts on that?
Fat sources.
Trying to really scratch my brain for some of those alternative sources of fat.
It is mostly animal fats.
Yeah.
Good oils from.
What is good oils?
Oh, fish.
Fish, absolutely.
Fish,
absolutely.
Amazing source.
And shellfish.
Yeah.
Actually, shellfish. Fish and shellfish. They are extremely high in fat, but they definitely contain some fats. Fish in the form of the skin and in the sinew. Also really rich in things like collagen. Anything that, when we're starting to consume things like fish and even bones, we're getting things like cooking animals on the bone. That's when we're going to get those wonderful things like collagen. We'll go into collagen on another time. No, it's not going to make your skin magically glow and beautiful. It's more responsible for the health, or it's like a lubricant for your muscles, making sure we keep our collagen levels up. But that's fat part one, guys.
Yeah, I guess word of caution as well, same as always.
Yeah.
Fat is amazing, but you can always get fat from eating fat, just like anything else. Eat too much of something, you're going to store it. But don't be afraid to eat it.
Don't be afraid to eat it. Better than the sugar.
Way better.
Focus on the good sources. Yeah. Sure.